Welcome to Daggers and Shadow Daddies.
We're your hosts, Ryan and Adriana. Close your legs and open your book. Let's get to reading.
Warning, this podcast contains explicit content.
It's about to get nasty.
It's all vibes and no facts.
Let's get to spoiling.
Wait, no, these are spoiler-free episodes.
Not the way I do it. Trigger warning. Subject matter in this episode is going to be potentially upsetting.
I think there's a sensitive topic that's likely going to come up, as I think it's a bit of a plot hole, and I want to talk about it and ask questions and the logistics.
It's going to lead to jokes on my end.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. It just seems, it's so funny because you even made a comment of, I can't rate this book yet because I haven't gotten to the end. And as soon as I hit this odd little plot hole, I'm like, oh, maybe I'm going to take away a fraction of a star just for the sake of this has been on my mind for a while trying to make it work. But yeah, anyways, trigger warning, talking about the Abyss's backstory and all of that. But
we got questions for the doula.
We got questions. Overall, what do you think of the book?
It was really good. It's really weak in the villain side of things, kind of. It just keeps introducing more and more and more villainous people.
I was thinking that it was realistic villains, like manipulation of a person that you thought cared for you. It's almost hits closer to home when it comes to the types of villains that you would meet in everyday life.
The double cross thing we'll get
yeah,
into
the double
is
cross.
good.
Yep.
Outside of that, all the villains went easily. Other than there was one villain that we've been aware of from the beginning that actually went the opposite direction that I thought it would from the beginning of the book.
Who is this?
The Heart Soul Weaver.
Oh, yeah. I like the twist, I guess, of her actually being...
It was a reverse double cross.
Yeah.
She was a pseudo double agent the whole time. And I truly think as a character, the monologue and stuff that she went through was amazing. That was really good. The Abyss was such a fucking disappointment.
I think so. I think for the last bit, I was a little disappointed in how... I think I was building it up too much in my head. What if? And then what we got wasn't comparable to what I was thinking it could be. But it's not that I was disappointed anyway. I think it was just more of this realism and that the villain was... I can't even...
The villain kind of sucked. The overall villain that we were led to believe was the overall villain was weak as shit.
But you constantly complain about power creep, and I don't think that is in here. I don't think
we got the opposite.
I was happy with it.
The Abyss came off less badass in the end than she did throughout the rest of the book.
I was happy with it.
Good.
I truly was very happy with the villains in that they weren't this like outrageous level of power. It's something that we could see actually happen in our world.
What powerful thing did the Abyss do?
Create
in the final battle.
Oh, in the final battle?
Yep.
Nothing necessarily.
What kind of a fight did the Abyss really put up in the final battle?
Not a great fight compared, but I think maybe when I was listening to it, I wasn't taking it as the Abyss is weaker than expected. I took it as Sybil is stronger than expected. And multiple times, I want to point this out right now, Sybil talks about how they both clash like stone. They both landed like stone, implying how Sybil is partially made of stone.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's great for development of Sybil. I think it was kind of a letdown that the Abyss didn't have some sort of a plan. There wasn't any moving parts. She expected her to show back up and had nothing prepared. Because
she's so cocky.
It's like inviting 20 people over for dinner and then thinking, well, we'll wait to order pizza until 20 minutes before the pizza place closes. I was like, are you shitting me? Come on, have a plan. Because she's 230 years old, bare minimum.
Plus 100. She was 100 years old before she even showed up to the craftsman.
She's 300 years old.
Wait. I got to ask you this question because I've been waiting to ask you. What do you think about everybody was dead? It's not that she took people, stole the girls and just started dunking them. They were all dead. The craftsman's story. All of she came upon 5 dead bodies and then just made up her own story. I thought that was amazing. I loved that whole story.
I think it was really good because it's really a spring of resurrection as opposed to a spring of
life.
life.
Yeah.
And it makes sense why she would be the moth, because the moth symbolizes death. She's literally out there just finding bodies, right?
Yeah.
And then bringing them to life or animating them. So I think her symbolism as the moth, that makes total sense. And I really appreciated that note. I think I misunderstood until this exact moment. I didn't think everybody was dead.
Yes.
I thought that she killed them and then resurrected them.
Oh, killed who? Did you think?
Well, like the people who become diviners. I don't, because I have a hard time believing that she happens to find 6 dead children in such close proximity and then immediately turns them into diviners.
Well, if they're dead, you can just lay the bodies around and wait until you find another one.
I thought they died drowning in the spring, and then they were resurrected by the spring.
Bartholomew said that he went and searched the alleys and the whatever. He searched locations to find dead children.
Yeah.
And maybe not even dead children, just dead girls. And this is another piece that I have questions on. I'm sorry, I'm moving so quickly, but I've been waiting. Were they dead as children, revived, and they are still children's size and they don't continue to grow?
No, because Rory says that damn it, not 6. I don't want to call her 6 anymore because Sybil.
Yeah. So if Sybil's 26 years old.
Sybil appears to be in her mid-20s.
Did she die in her mid-20s?
I don't believe so.
So you think maybe she died at 16 and has aged up maybe 10 years?
Yeah, I think they continue to age.
Fascinating, because but Bartholomew is shorter than her, which was
He got turned into a gargoyle.
But he was like a little boy who was revived. But he lived for years with the abbess, working for the abbess, until she finally locked him up in this room.
About 10 years, but he could have been a short man. He's not the size of a child.
All right, well,
he's just not a large person.
Yeah.
And it sounds like he grew up pretty malnourished.
Yeah. Well, he died as a child.
Well, I mean, even beyond that, once he was divining.
And a shout out to one of our book club members who called that the building at the very beginning that 6 ran to, she commented, it was like chapter 4. She's like, I have a feeling about this building. This is going to be important later. And nobody really knew what it could be. She just had this gut feeling. And then we find in chapter 30, chapter 29, that's the building that Bartholomew was locked in and starved of the water.
That's why he's got the keys now. He's in charge of all the keys.
Yes.
Yeah. But that's how they create the gargoyles, is to starve them of the water.
Yeah.
Which I find interesting. It's like the water staves off you turning into stone.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. What's 6's plan? Going with the king.
She's going to grab a bucket of water on the way out. She'll be fine.
They buried it.
They can dig it up.
Yeah, that's the thing. Are they going to do that? Are they going to go back?
I'm sure he's going to maintain the well a little bit for 6.
Because, she's just going to be a gargoyle. Unless, I don't know. Do you think you can reverse gargoyles?
No, I don't. I think once you've gone gargoyle, you don't go back.
And the abbess, she's fully stone, but looks like human skin. Was that what you heard?
I heard she had a lot of stone parts. I don't think she was fully stone. I think she was like a beautiful young lady whose bones were all stone. I think she and 6 have a similar thing, where they're turning to stone from the inside out.
Yeah, very slowly.
Yeah, soft tissue first. That's why the eyeballs are getting us there. And yeah, also explains why everybody's nipples are rock hard.
Oh my God, no.
No?
Did you have any other things that were on your mind?
Oh, I have a million things on my mind, but I want to go through it in the order in which it sort of occurs.
That's okay. I think I got all of my big burning questions out. It was the aging and betrayal.
I'm going to warn you, I almost DNF'd the book.
What?
In the second to last chapter.
Why?
I thought the gargoyle was dead.
Oh.
And as soon as that was going to happen, I was done. Bartholomew's out. I'm like, I'm out. It was fine. I was going to go DNF and not rate the book.
Yeah, because as of right now, Bartholomew is crumbling as he was running away.
Well, his wings and stuff are crumbling. They're going to heal him. Don't worry about him.
Throw him in the water?
No, the water's covered. What are you thinking? I'm just teasing.
No, I'm assuming
I'm messing with you.
that they're going to save Rory with the water.
What? Rory's not dead.
He's about to be.
No, he's just bleeding a lot. He's going to be fine.
He was stabbed in the gut.
He was sliced.
Dying.
He was sliced.
He's dying.
'Tis a flesh wound. He'll be fine.
They're going to go dunk him.
They can't. They marched away out of the hole in the wall.
No, not Rory. Barthon.
They were made to march away before the soldiers.
Yeah, they're going to
He blew
march
a hole
away.
in the side of the wall, and he's like, if I ever see you motherfuckers again, I will not show mercy. You will just be dead.
And then they're going to loop around and back up to the spring water.
I think they're going to make their own little adventure. The second book hopefully is mostly about them having their adventure, healing, and then developing their plan to rescue Sybil and the rest of the kingdom. But there's a hint of goodness left in the king.
Is there?
Yeah. His eyes looked pained as he was telling them to leave.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's meant to give you a hint that there is a hint of humanity left. Take me into chapter 25.
Oh, I have this note. In the span of one book, we were shown a religion, fell for the religion, and deconstructed from it.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I like that.
Because, yeah, we were given all the same stories and the history of all of this, and I'm believing it, trying to apply logic to everything. I know that the omens weren't actually gods, but then I'm like, oh, this is how the spring water works. And then even that fell apart at the very end.
I've never been more concerned that you are home, sometimes without me here. Like, if a Jehovah's Witness shows up, are you going to convert?
No.
You're like, listen, you're not going to believe this, but they have a whole book. Explains this stuff. It seems a little far-fetched at first.
Let's sit down. Let me tell you a story.
If you're a Jehovah's Witness, I'm sorry. Please don't knock on my door.
In chapter 25, it was the sex scene. He wants to cleanse her. I don't even remember this scene very well.
This cock of cures.
He wants to, I know that he said he wanted to cleanse her of something and that she likes seeing him look ignoble.
Yeah, I honestly cannot block this out. This seemed like nonsense.
You were even supposed to reread it. So
I specifically skipped that chapter.
And then when we went to go rate the book, we're sitting there on the deck rating the book, writing down all our thoughts and opinions. Then it gets to the spiciness level, and we're like, wait a minute, I can't remember. That's how desensitized we are now. A year ago, us would have been like, whoa, this is spicy, but I don't even remember the spice.
I think it was spicy. I think somebody went down on somebody.
I remember.
I don't fucking
it's
remember.
not closed door, is it?
No, it seemed at the time like the door was open.
Yeah.
I'd just rather be thinking of
But we couldn't give it a solid chili pepper because we can't even remember it.
I think the chili pepper was door is implied to be open, but no overtly sexy talk.
But it was just so funny that we just finished the book. We're getting ready to rate it, and we already forgot about the spiciness. I still remember the spicy scenes from the Book of Azrael.
Dude, I remember the first fucking spicy scene in Akatar.
Yeah. So I'm guessing
it was gross.
Either we're the problem or this book wasn't very spicy.
I think the book had the perfect amount of spice. There's one chapter, and you can skip it. It clearly did not matter to the rest of the story.
No.
The romance aspect was the absolute worst written part of this book, but it was done in the way that I appreciate. It was not important at all to the story. It really didn't even happen. It just kind of all of a sudden was there.
And I wasn't in a very serious mood. And I even wrote that in my notes of like, I'm clearly not in a serious mood because my notes are like, there's details about his leg hair when he had his pants off, and that kind of cracked me up. He asked for permission again, which is amazing. But in the moment, I'm just kind of thinking of like a vampire rule thing.
Yeah. He knocked on her entrance. Needs to be invited in.
Yeah.
She's spread and waiting, and he's like, may I come inside?
And now I feel really bad because, like, between last episode and this one, like, it sounds like I'm not for consent. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, no, I definitely.
No. We like a consenting king. Okay.
Definitely do. I just was liking making fun of him. He puts his hand
down her pants, and I'll bet he'll feel nuts.
He puts his hand down there, right?
Yeah.
He's fingering her. He takes the same hand and brings it up and touches her mouth and there was more finger sucking, puts his finger and touches her tongue. Like, these are the details.
Yeah, you get the pube off his fingers. Just wiping it on her tongue.
Yeah. And it was like,
this is why we think it's important to shower. Yep.
But it was like 2 chapters ago. She was on her period. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Oh, we're back to the vampire thing.
I'm assuming she's done. Like,
Or he's like, taste this. Are you low on iron? Do you need more red meat?
because
Does this taste off to you? While I would never do this to you, it is so funny to think about.
because I'm just like, I thought she was still on her period. And then he's like, I re-listened to it to make sure it was the same hand.
She
that was
keeps
down
talking,
there.
and he just shushes her with that hand.
He does shush her, and then he like dips it in, and there's a mention of it touching his finger touching her tongue, and I'm like,
But she
okay.
doesn't describe, like, she's like, ooh, pH is a little off.
It's still not as bad as, and not to spoil it for everyone, I don't think this is a spoiler giving this little detail. In Akatar, there's a moment of a full-blown finger pop of he does this to her and he sticks his finger in his mouth and
Then-
pops it out of his mouth. It was so gross. I'm just like, I don't want to hear about this. This may be somebody's thing, but it was just not it.
It's not your jam?
Well, in this one, this was done more sexual, right? The flow and the writing style. But in my head, I'm like, I think that's bloody.
No, I would agree. I think it is. It's a little ucky for me. However, I don't think that the blood is really the bad part. And I think if Rory were really the perfect knight, he'd go down there anyway. Who gives a shit? He literally bit himself to the point where he bled. But least he could go do is paddle around the pink canoe a little. You know, wade through the Red River.
No.
No? I'd do it.
I know you would.
You're going to scare me. I like my steak rare.
No.
Granted, I wouldn't then make you try it, which I think is where he really went wrong. Because I could not imagine, like, the opposing thing if you were just...
bloody mustache and he comes up for kisses. No.
It starts getting after it like he's putting war paint on her. Like his hands don't even work anymore. Just... Now, imagine the role is reversed and she gets, like, pre-cum or whatever on her hand, and then she comes up and shushes him. Like, sticks to his mouth. He's like... She's like, gross, Rory. You need to eat more pineapples. How dare you?
I don't know. Sex is...
Fun. Great. The best. My favorite thing in the world, probably.
I don't know where I'm really going with it, but it's like odd things just kind of happen in these intimate moments, right? Throughout at some point. But I think it's just the documenting of it is what's like, oh, okay.
You wouldn't share this with everyone.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I mean, there's always going to be a moment of awkwardness if you have sex enough times with somebody. I don't think the first time you have sex with somebody should be the most awkward time. Like, mentally, it can be odd, but it shouldn't be the one where the most weird events occur.
Like, I remember kneeing you in the face at one point, and that was at the
Right in the throat.
Yeah, at the apartment. That was very early in the relationship.
Yeah, I didn't know how fast your knees could move you. I couldn't dodge it at that point. You've slowly built up my reflexes.
Like, and that's more, as a young person, that's awkward. Like, our awkward moments now, I will not say on this.
But it was never to the point where it'd be like, hey, let me check your oil and then have you taste it.
No.
That's a wild play. Rory's into some weird stuff. I wonder who he's been with before where they were like, you know, it'd be really cool if you finger blast me and then you make me taste it.
And he would ask, he'd be like, this is what I would like to do.
He's like, you got
There's
some
no
Michelin
surprises.
star punani. You got to try this flavor. He didn't even try it first.
No, he didn't.
He made her try it first.
Yes.
It's like he was checking to see if it was poisoned. If she passes out, he knows he can't go down there. You know what I mean?
No.
Like where kings and queens would have people taste shit, make sure it's
Yeah.
not poisoned. Same.
Thinking about her turning to stone, and it reminded me of this whole deal of Edward Cullen, Twilight, all
Oh,
that.
there we go. I was
Yeah.
like, why is that name familiar?
In
He's the
Twilight.
sparkly vampire.
Yep. There's some detail about how they don't have blood in them as vampires.
That's why they're cold.
Yeah.
And that's why they drink blood.
But then how do you get a boner
What do you mean?
if you have no blood?
Well, you don't need it when you're a vampire. When you're a vampire, it's just a bat dick. It like transforms.
Oh, okay.
I think you have to suspend disbelief with this a little bit. Like, also, how do they move? We're not circulating anything. We're not. Also, body temperature. Being a vampire in its own way would be kind of neat. You're immune to rabies. Right? Your body temperature's too low.
You're just like a little possum.
Yeah, you're good at everything because it doesn't matter. You're like, well, you're also like a snake. Like, it gets to be like 40 degrees outside and you're shutting down. Blood flow is a necessary thing, just so everybody's aware. I also had a note on this, though.
Oh, what's that?
Do you think her labia majora were like river rock? Smooth and just turn into stone?
No, this is what I was thinking about. It's like, oh, I wonder if there's any...
Gravel?
Gravel?
Whoa, there's a vein of gold in this one.
Oh.
I'll get her 2 more and we're smelting down that vagine.
I was thinking of the golden shower. It's literal gold.
Ew. No, wait. Do you think she poops rocks? No, she doesn't eat rocks. Ignore me. That was dumb.
Do they never eat? I can't remember.
No, she eats.
Does she?
She brings up while she's still living at the abbess's place.
Very
They
little.
get stale bread, stale honey bread, and some water.
Okay.
And then she drinks ale at the bar when they go out. But they don't ever bring up like hot wings or anything fun.
No.
Like, hey, we're in the kingdom of hot wings and pizza. We're like, oh, really? I don't eat that stuff. I like rocks and bread. I don't fucking know where that was
How
going.
did we not even touch on this? This is the chapter that we learned that she sees her face for the first time.
Oh, hold on. He leaves her in that room by herself the next morning.
Yeah. To go get her breakfast.
Yeah, but he didn't like write a note or anything. So she thought that he just bailed. Like he was like, well, got what I came here for. And like the prospector in California in the old days, he was like, there's no more gold in them hills. And then he bailed.
No. But I think he has a lot of stolen treasures all in his room. Is that right?
He later paid for most of these things.
Okay.
But he did initially steal them. Now they're trophies of his great theft.
But that's when she finds the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Sees herself. And I think we were kind of right on white eyes and stone. They were like white stone eyes, right?
Yeah.
And she's insecure about how she looks. And he shares his devotion to her, which was so well done. And I have the note, they lose their beliefs and clothes and form a new religion, unraveling all night for each other's bodies.
They unravel for each other until they need rest. Then they take a short nap and they unravel some more.
Yes, lots of unraveling.
They just keep unraveling. Do you think there's that game where it's like you're 2 little string people and you need to be buddies to get through the levels? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was thinking whenever they say unravel, because I think that game's called Unravel or something.
I think it is.
And I was like, oh, we should play that game together. And also, we could play the other game together.
And I wonder if Benji is like in another room just crying. He's like, I'm going to get my revenge.
Do you think it would have been a little funny if Rory would have like started singing Betty Davis eyes to her? She's got Betty Davis eyes.
I don't get it.
Really? Okay, look up the song Betty Davis eyes.
I never get your references.
No, you do. You get so many of them, and that's why you're perfect, and we work out so lovely together.
I like the song, but I don't understand what are Betty Davis eyes.
Well, Betty Davis was an actor in the old days. But, I mean, I think there's some moments in that, right?
Oh.
She'll tease you, she'll unease you.
She has very specific type of eyes.
Mm-hmm.
They remind me of, there's a term for the 3 white spots, the 3 white eyes.
I don't even know what you're talking about. 3 white eyes. Oh, you mean where you can see kind of around the...
The 3 whites of eyes refers to a condition called sanpaku eyes, where the whites of the eyes are visible either above or below the iris. So you have the left and right side of your eye, of course, but then also beneath
top or
it.
bottom.
Yeah, that's the type of eyes she has.
Okay, so now do you get why I thought that was funny? Her eyes are basically all white.
Yes.
and the lyric, but she'll tease you, she'll unease you. all the better just to please you. I can't remember exactly how it goes.
Do you have other song references?
Oh, as we go through it, we got so many, but off your feet with the crumbs she throws you. Like, Betty Davis, go through those lyrics and tell me it's not great.
Oh, this is really fitting for the lyrics.
Thank you. I thought it was great.
This is a great reference, and I really like this song.
It is super fun.
After a night of unraveling, we go to chapter 26, and they're riding into an area. I don't know what it is. What a terrible note. Clearly, I'm not paying
Do
attention.
you want me to look at the map?
No, it doesn't even matter.
It's after the chiming wood. They're after the...
Yeah, they're headed to the next one. And we learn that Maud doesn't like killing sprites. And this came about after she killed the forester. And she learns what it means to take pride in a kill. I don't know, like something about a valid kill. What am I thinking? Righteous kill.
Oh, okay.
There we go. So after that, all the knights going after all the sprites, she doesn't agree with it. And then we have the gargoyle laying out the most coherent speech about doing the wrong thing for the right reason.
One of 3 times we're going to hear that speech in this book.
About doing the wrong thing for the right reason?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's multiple people that say that. I think Benji says it and the abbess says it.
Yep. And they all kind of do it scoldingly, other than the gargoyle. I kind of like that there's a different color behind each one of them.
Yes, everyone thinks that they're doing the right thing. All of them.
Well, every one of them acknowledges they're doing the wrong thing, but they all believe it's for the right reasons, which I think is an allegory to right and wrong is not generally black and white.
Yeah.
So you can justify anything you do by saying that you're doing it for the right reasons. The right reason is not a black and white thing. But if you can acknowledge that you're doing something wrong, you should probably just not be doing it.
Other than the abbess, that one I didn't understand is doing the right thing for the wrong reason. No, doing the wrong thing for the right reason. There we go.
Yeah.
Or hers, I was just like, no, you were
The kingdom came under peace under the abbess. Before that, there were all warring factions, and she did unite this whole kingdom.
Yep. Okay, that was it.
Albeit now through fear and, greed.
And lies.
Yeah.
Then they come upon a sea, and the gargoyle thrashed in the mud, which scared a little boy. As they were, walking, I think he, fell down in the water. He's, thrashing around, and then this little boy sees, and he just, runs away. I thought there was going to be some detail about that little boy later. No. It was just a scared child.
It was Rory time traveling. And that's where he determined that he actually likes sprites. They're sort of adorable.
And they're staying at an inn, and everyone there are weavers.
Oh.
Wait,
what do we say? We bring up a weaver.
Oh my God.
They're all named what?
Gary, right?
Oh, dream weaver.
I didn't know how many books include weavers.
I didn't either, and I'm so glad because I feel like we're finally giving Gary Wright the platform that he deserved. I bet Gary Wright had other songs. I just don't know them. I'm about to learn them.
Shameless plug between chapters.
Want more daggers and shadow daddies? Get a month ahead of where you're at right now. Sign up for 1 month on Patreon and then cancel that shit after you binged it.
That was great.
I listen to a lot of podcasts. I know how their advertisements work, and this is what I wish they did. It was only 5 seconds long.
She gets a note under her door, and I believe it was from Benji about meeting without Maud, because I think her and Maud are staying in the same room. So she goes down and she meets...
One room.
Yeah.
Maud and Sybil. Trying so hard not to call her Six.
So she goes down and she meets the knights and Benji at the beach, and they want something from her status and the ceremony tomorrow in reference to this. And then they also insult Rory. What did you think of that whole scene?
I think it's fucking weird. So they insult Rory, so like, haha, you're lowborn. You miserable cunt. And they just move forward, and I'm like, he's like the second knight in charge. If you can just openly disrespect the second most important dude in the kingdom, you've got a weird leadership structure. It's much more free than I thought it was.
But to become a knight, you were a noble, and I think that they are a little pretentious about...
They said there are exceptions.
There are exceptions, yes, but that doesn't get rid of the...
Stigma?
Yeah, of coming from... from coming. Oh my God, now I can't even stop doing that.
You can't stop coming.
No.
We've really landed.
Being born of unwealthy blood. There's still a stigma around it. And I think the knights that he chose are all of very high status nobility. I don't think I worded that right, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think you did good. I think you're right. I'm just more upset by the fact of challenge them to their craft. Make this fun. We heard that this exists.
Oh, just do the whole thing again, but for each noble family.
Well, no, just even these knights, as they're being dicks to Rory, Rory's like, fuck it, I challenge you at your craft. If you fuck up, you gotta run naked. Like, and eventually, you're gonna run into some of these nobles. They're probably inbred with little tiny wieners. They're not gonna want to get naked. They're not gonna want to run. Meanwhile, you know, we got our boy Rory out there who, in a 3-legged race, doesn't need a partner. He's just out there soloing that mission all by himself. He'd tie it to his ankle and let him go. I truly did not care so much about this because I felt like it was kind of just to make you feel enraged. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And the only way in which that worked for me was me being more upset at the lack of discipline involved in the knight community.
Well, and you can just leave also. Moth is just like, I'm done. I didn't know you could do that.
There's a lot of fucking freedom in this place.
That you have made your vow to the king and to all that, right? You say that whole vow, but you can also decide at any time to just leave.
Yeah, you just make a new vow. Somebody else. It's a little bit like divorce. Till death do you part? Yeah, I mean, or until I don't like them. I think they should add that into marriage vows.
I didn't even think of that.
I think that really should be added in there.
After they get done insulting Rory, they are done with that conversation. Sybil and Rory meet up and they bang again. And then at some point, the gargoyle is lost because she wakes up. The gargoyle is gone. She's panicking, like, he's gone, he's lost, we need to go find him. I'm like, great, this is a big deal. And it ended up being a very quick turnaround of finding him, and they find him by the sea.
This is where he drops some wisdom nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't lost. He was out relaxing. He gets up early, stays out late. He's my boy.
And they have to leave for the cathedral, and the wind took her shroud.
Symbolic.
Yes, she's officially done with that. And then a stone figure breaks into her room and was hovering over the gargoyle.
Yep. And she lashes out, and the stone figure's like, fuck off.
Why did the stone figure come show up to Bartholomew?
I think the stone figure knew Bartholomew. I think it was the Weaver, right?
Yeah, why do it in such a creepy way, though? Like, breaking in.
The Weaver is sort of creepy looking. Remember, it was very dark. There's stone involved, but the Weaver brings up that she's not just an omen. She's not just a person or an animal. She's this weird amalgamation of all three.
And that's what Bartholomew is like, too, right?
No, I think Bartholomew is... well, maybe.
Yeah. They all started off dead. Chapter 27... they all think it's the Weaver. And at that time, I was just like, why are we assuming that's the Weaver? That person is completely made of stone.
This could be the Abbess.
It could be anybody.
It could be anything that is stone and moves around.
They were right the first time. They thought it was the Weaver. But there was still humanness with the other humans. Yeah, that's my note about...
no, the other
omens still had some humanness to them. And I think now we've learned that it's because they got the spring water every so often through the blood, which is really just fucked up. Like, why be so dramatic about that? Why not just send a bottle of water every so often?
Like they're a Dasani distributor.
Yeah, why not just send it that way? Why through the blood? Oh, it was to keep them starved.
Correct.
Because it was
the same way that that the omens did with the sprites.
Yes,
it is the order of operations.
Benji says he admires and envies Rory. And I have the note, I think he's about to backstab with the way that he was talking about Rory. I'm like, something's going to happen because he seems to have a lot of animosity maybe towards Rory. And Six says that she may not follow him to the castle after taking down Ashland Cathedral. He's like, you're going to be coming back here. And she's like, oh, I don't actually know. And she didn't pledge her loyalty to him at all. She pledged it to the Stonewater Kingdom.
Yes. And I think this is also where the king brings up that Rory, he bitches about Rory a little bit in this part, right? And she's like, no, Rory's the most loyal knight ever. Or is that later?
It doesn't, I don't know. I think it is here where they're talking about it because he's like, no, he's probably going to leave and be with you.
But
It might not be here. I just have that. I think that he wants power in this scene. That he is.
It's all he's wanted since the beginning.
Yeah. Then it goes on to the Weaver ceremony. Is this a thing where each of these communities are doing a ceremony now that he is king?
Yes. They all need to basically commit their little serfdom into his kingdom.
And all of them seem to have something to do with him getting nude?
Well, it would be weird if he kept all his clothes on.
Because they
We gotta know what our king's doing. Like, if he don't hang brain, can we trust him?
Because they're like pulling like the string and unraveling everything, unraveling him.
Oh, he came unraveled in front of everyone.
So they're pulling the string and he's getting nude again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is such a vulnerable ceremony thing.
Or is it just what the king always wanted? He's like, look upon my royal dong. Okay. Dumb
Oh,
question.
and then Rory does admit that he would leave the knighthood to be with her.
I would do anything for you, Diviner. Goober.
And this ceremony is a lot more gentle. Weaver's ceremony for Benji is gentle. It wasn't very aggressive. It was just it seemed like a much better community than the other ones that we visited.
Do we think it has something to do with the Weaver also being gentle?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't think of that.
Sorry. I said that in a way that made it seem like I was an asshole. I wasn't trying to make it.
No, it
I
was
heard
just
myself
me.
afterward. I took a drink and then I was like, oh, ooh, smart guy here. No, ignore me.
But yeah, at this point, I was assuming that this upcoming Omen was as shitty as all the other ones.
You would be left with that assumption.
And you had a question. What was it?
Do you know the song Ring My Bell?
No. I never know these songs.
I'm here to help. This isn't one like the last home where it's lyrically perfect. There's one lyric in this that reminds me of when Rory's on display.
When Rory's on display?
No, sorry,
Or
not
when-
Rory the King. When Benji's on display. If you go past, I think it's just past the first chorus. It's the night is young and full of possibilities. Well, come on, let yourself be free.
This is such an absurd reference.
Lyrically, it's not as tight as the rest of them, but there's that one lyric in there that just for whatever reason, that song played in my head when it was brought on that Rory was going to be on display for everybody, and they're slowly unraveling him, and I'm just imagining that song going, ring my bell, ring my bell. I think that would be so funny.
And you keep saying Rory. It's Benji.
Oh, shit. Yeah, Benji. Rory's out there ringing other bells, making people taste them. Taste My Bell. That's the song that he plays. Oh, man. But it's a fun song to imagine that going on. Then they're off having a secret adventure. You get back, and it's just some disco nonsense going on.
That's
the king.
fitting for the last place where they were all getting stoned. But
Nice. But this one is where they're like unraveling him. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah.
And then he's just like, I don't know. It seemed like the appropriate thing to do here.
Well, they try baiting the Weaver with spring water, and I don't think that it works. And I have the question, why doesn't Six crave the water right now? Why do they all crave it? Do they even crave it, or do they only know this is the only way I will not die?
No, they crave it. Remember, they lick blood. They are horny by the smell of that water.
Why isn't she?
She's fucking drowned so many times, it's still not out of her system. She's had enough water for a hot minute.
Do you think she's going to crave it?
Maybe. I think that's potentially the case. I think the second book's going to end with her being a nice abbess. That's what's going to happen. She's going to be the abbess, but like a nice one. She's not drowning people.
I have so many typos.
Good.
I don't know what this note means. I use the swipe, and then I am just left with nonsense.
Okay, read me the nonsense. Let's see if we can decipher this.
They tried to bait the Weaver with the spring water. This way chickens, as the gargoyle took them to a gray rock.
That's a quote. They tried to bait the Weaver, right?
Yes.
And then the gargoyle kind of takes off and he's like, this way, chickens.
Oh, okay,
And-
he did do that. I'm like, why would I write that?
I
Yeah,
believe he
calls
does.
them his little chicks.
Yeah.
It sounded like Six did the bulk of the moving. When her and Rory are trying to move the rock, she did more than him.
She's very strong. It's come up like a million times.
Yes.
She's so yoked. I like to think that like Six is just a muscle mommy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's just yoked, and Rory's just like, oh, those thighs.
Yeah, because he's not threatened at all. I think he's into it.
Yeah, I 100%
Not
agree.
intimidated. And I love it. He's so secure in himself. It's great.
He's got a 3-foot-long penis. What could she possibly do? This reminds me of one of my favorite Norm Macdonald bits.
I don't know if I'm going to allow this. What are you
It's
talking
the one I sent you yesterday.
That is not going to be repeated. Even Conan O'Brien, who is the one listening to this, had his face in his palms because he was really questioning what was about to come out of his mouth.
But it didn't turn out to be that bad.
Not that bad.
It's not overtly crazy.
You love Norm Macdonald so much.
He was the greatest comedian.
You set up every single, oh my God, the moth joke.
Correct.
How has the moth joke not come up once in this entire book?
It did. You deleted that in the very first episode.
There's no way.
I didn't say the moth joke. I said I would like to say the moth joke.
Okay, that
and
sounds
you
right.
said no. And then you cut that out. And I have been holding on to that every time they say moth. So can I tell it real quick?
No,
I'll just do a quick version.
No, I can't.
So a moth walks into a podiatrist's office, right? And he says, Doc, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to tell a very, very expedited version of this joke.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, don't worry. So the moth walks into the podiatrist's office. He says, Doc, I've got problems. And the doctor's like, oh, tell me about those problems. He's like, my wife, she's so angry with me. My son, he's just disappointed in me. He doesn't look up to me. I don't know what to do. You know, my dog just recently got sick, and I think we're going to have to put him down. It's a sad, sad day. My cat just keeps pissing on everything. It makes no sense. I don't know what's going on. We've had this cat forever, and I love this cat, and I love my wife, but I don't know what to do with any of these problems anymore. And the doctor's like, wow, that sounds rough. He's like, yeah, and on top of that, you know, my daughter's in college right now, and she may fail out. I don't know, but she keeps talking about bringing back this boy with her, and I'm worried that they're going to want to get married, and she's not going to finish school, and what will she do with her life? It's just awful. Podiatrist says, holy smokes, man. Moth says, yeah, and that ain't the worst of it. You know, if you'd believe it, my boss told me the other day that I've got 2 weeks left of work before I'm going to have to be let go, and our insurance policy is going to go. And again, if my poor daughter gets pregnant, well, she doesn't have insurance. How will we ever afford this? Perhaps we'll lose the house.
Better
And
talk
on the
fast.
note of the house, we've been recently doing this remodel that's run into expenses that are just above and beyond what it ever should have been. And the podiatrist says, holy shit, that's just awful. Well, what brings you in today? And the moth says, well, the light was on.
That's so fucking dumb.
That is a pretty condensed version. That joke, I normally do it for 20 minutes. Rest in peace, Norm Macdonald, you brilliant motherfucker. I butchered his joke, but he is just so gifted. By far the funniest comedian to have ever lived.
You have done that joke to every single family member.
They never know it's coming.
They never know. And now that after you did it to me, it's
With you,
entertaining.
did it with you.
And it's entertaining to see how long people will let you talk.
That's always the challenge. I like to see who will let me keep adding details before I can see them kind of slowly phasing out of the conversation. And that's when you bring them back in with something real quick and you try to reinitiate. And if it doesn't go well, you're like, okay, now there's the end of the joke. You give it to them right then, and they're always so exasperated and angry. I think my record is probably my sister.
Your sister, I thought it was your mom.
Ooh, you're right. Actually, I think she let me go for, Christ, a half hour one time.
So long.
No, your mom also let me go for like 20 minutes at least. Your dad quit listening immediately when I said podiatrist's office. He was not having that joke at all. Maybe he was familiar with it.
Oh, right.
Anyway, so the other Norm Macdonald bit that I wanted to bring up.
No.
Can we just change this into a Norm Macdonald appreciation podcast?
Where are we at in this chapter? Gargoyle. Oh, yeah, the rock gets moved. They drop down. This area is just like her dream when she heard the footsteps, but never saw the figure. Rory doesn't like tight spaces, and the gargoyle says...
We did learn he's claustrophobic, which actually makes his upbringing a little sad.
Oh.
I'm sure he was just left under the stairs like Harry Potter.
Well, I like the gargoyle's response. He's like, well, hopefully you don't die because I heard graves are rather constrictive.
And Rory's eyes drew low. He said, helpful. And then moved on. Oh, the gargoyle, he's so amazing. He ends this chapter in a really cool way, too.
How's that?
He just yells, huzzah. That's the end of the chapter. Eventually, Sybil's like, let's go kill another omen. And the gargoyle's like, huzzah. He jumped down on the hole.
In chapter 28, they're in the cave and they come to a divide. Rory, Six, and the gargoyle follow the moth-weaved blanket path.
Because the gargoyle is the one who's like, well, okay, we'll take this guy. Benji tries to separate them differently.
He does. I think he is trying to set himself up with Six. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's trying to separate Rory and Sybil. We don't call her Six anymore.
Well, and I took the little note that the king went with Maud because I was very suspicious of him, and nothing ever came of it. I thought he was going to backstab Maud during this event.
No, he loves Maud.
Yeah, he does. And the gargoyle sets off this water trap. He's like holding on to this little string. He's like, oh, how awesome. And he like snaps it.
Do you think the Death Cab for Cutie song, Follow You Into the Dark, would be cute for this moment? Cute. But it's just the gargoyle, like they're following the gargoyle, singing it to him. Do you know what I'm talking about?
What I'm imagining.
Love of mine, someday you will die, but I'll be close behind.
And they're singing that to him?
Yeah, I think that would be cute.
That doesn't sound cute.
Well, just because they're saying that they love him.
Oh. Okay.
Not so much that he'll die. I mean, eventually he will, but...
And you're going to be okay with that?
No, of course not. I'll quit reading the next book immediately.
So he sets off the trap, and then this water is flooding through. I'm picturing like this big old sewery like tunnel that just fills with water.
Like the Ninja Turtles.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Shoots him out, lands on a pile of gold. She starts drowning again. He pulls her up. He loses his coin, I think. No, not he does lose his coin, but nothing really happens yet. The gargoyle flew away up top, and they're like, can you help us? And they're like, well, there's some rope here, but there's worms on it. Gross.
Actually, God damn it, throw the worm rope.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine.
So they both come up, and then I think Rory goes back down to go get the coin?
Yeah, I think that is exactly what happens. I might also add, they're silkworms, so it's silk rope.
Yes.
Very strong.
Do you know how silk is made?
I think it's silkworm shit.
It is.
That's it. That's my understanding of it.
If I remember correctly.
Wait, spider silk or silkworm? It's kind of the same, yeah?
Yes, I'm thinking of the silkworms, that when they do their cocoon, that you boil it to kill what's inside of them.
The worm?
Yeah.
We have to murder the worm?
Yeah.
To get the silk?
Yes.
This is why synthetics are important. We don't want to be killing all the silkworms. Can you imagine if that's how a bug's life went?
Oh.
Towards the end, it's like this colony of silkworms being harvested. Rich people want to sleep in comfort, and then they just start boiling all this cartoon worms.
Yeah, I remember being really grossed out learning how the whole process of how silk is made.
I'll pretend that's why I don't own silk.
And it could be the other type of silk. I think there's silk spiders.
Yes.
Yeah, it might be those ones. No, it's got to be the cocoon one that gets boiled to kill what's inside of it. It's really messed up.
That is.
And you have to do it at a very specific age or else the silk is ruined.
I did not know this.
Very specific.
It's a little bit like boiling lobsters alive.
Ew.
This is a problem.
Yeah, it's really fucked up. Anyways.
I recently learned about what's the force feed the goose thing. What's that called?
Yeah.
There's a name for that food.
It was like foie gras.
Oh, yeah, foie gras.
Yeah, that's
foie gras.
Nasty, messed up.
That's a French name. I don't have anything else further to go with that. That's why I can't say it. Well, it's French. Nothing against the French, but that's a horrible thing to do to a goose.
Oh, and then she finds one.
Oh, she finds one's body.
Yeah, she finds the body.
Yeah.
Just like, meh, on the thing.
She's very sad about it.
But the weaver did. Okay, so the weaver is withheld from the spring water, turns to stone, and then the abbess starts sending girls to her.
The abbess still treats her as an omen. She's just resisting all of it. That's why she's turning to stone more.
Oh.
Because she's refusing it.
She's refusing. She's not withheld from it.
Yeah, she wants to die, but she can't. She is immortal.
Exactly.
She's just turning to stone.
What do you remember from that whole speech and conversation between Sybil and
the Weaver?
Yes.
So the Weaver remembers Bartholomew. She gives us this kind of download of information that we really wanted, and it's enough to jog Bartholomew's memory. We get it confirmed. Our gargoyle is Bartholomew. He is the first diviner.
Yeah.
And he was a child, and it's very sad. It gets a little more intense. I can't remember. The Weaver eventually realizes the error of her ways because her superpower is to also see memories. So she does remember being alive. She remembers being human. The rest of everybody else does not remember that, which leads into 6 being a little strange that she actually remembers being Sybil.
That's all she remembers.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's an interesting note. She's the only one that actually retains her name.
Yes.
So the Weaver's superpower, seeing memories, she sees her own memories, she remembers her life, and all of the people that mattered to her are dead. And she's lived for too long, and she hates it. She's like, I am an abomination, basically. And so she goes to confront the Abbess. The Abbess is like, fuck you, you're still one of my people. You do what I tell you to do. This lady's like, okay, yeah, fine, whatever. And she crawls back to her location. That's pretty much what I remember.
I also am just thinking about this in case I forget later. The Abbess didn't know the Forester has been dead for like 30 years.
I don't think the Abbess does a lot of one-on-one.
No. So she just sent bodies to like where?
Well, the gargoyles are like, well, close enough. We'll just drop it here.
Just leaving them. But
how did she do this before she had all the gargoyles? Is my other question. Do you think she was just manually doing this? She's like, I strip them naked so nobody knows they're a diviner, close their little eyeballs, and have them delivered.
I wondered if before she got all the gargoyles, if they showed up
to collect their body?
To collect the water. And then as she started accumulating gargoyles, because the first one, she didn't have a whole set of 6 of these in the beginning. This is something that came to be in order to starve the omens, because I think that they were showing up for just water. And she's like, I need to starve these guys. And I now need these gargoyles to protect this area from the omens.
Oh, yeah, she was losing control of the omens.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, that totally works. I also...
She sent Bartholomew to go look for all these bodies.
Yeah. She sent Bartholomew to go find who would become diviners.
Yes.
Not to go find the bodies that they had been littering the place with.
So, I'm getting ahead of myself before we get to the Abbess scene. When dunking, is she the one who's is it like hypnotism? She's telling them what they're dreaming and then they wake up and they think that they had this?
I don't think it's hypnotism necessarily. I think when the Abbess is dunking these people who basically, okay, let me rephrase this. When the Abbess is dunking the diviners and drowning them, I think the power of the spring is using the memory from the person who is dunking them. That's how she got the vision from Bartholomew.
Yeah.
And it's also so cute that Bartholomew's the Moth, really, right? I mean, technically he's not, but he kind of is. The Moth was a kind thing in her vision.
Yeah, wait a minute. Is it a memory thing after getting dunked, or is it just what that person's thinking about?
I don't think it's necessarily what they're thinking about. It shows some truth that is important to that person. Okay. And I believe there's some control over it because the Abbess always dunks them, and maybe that's why they actually had to drink the blood. Maybe they had to drink the blood in order to get a view that hadn't been particular to the Abbess.
Maybe, or it was just a made-up thing to look more formal.
Well, I'm wondering, though, if everything had to do with the person who was dunking them.
It should be the same every single time.
Correct. So I think the blood is the thing that changes what they would see.
Maybe, yeah.
Because Bartholomew's visions being in some way related to what she said is only explained by the fact that Bartholomew's the one that dunked her, even though she drank Rory's blood.
Yes, because she even said that it must have been because you were the one that did it, performed the ceremony thing.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a plot hole there. I have other questions when we get to that point. I want to touch more on the Weaver.
Yes, and the Weaver was very focused on trying to ensure a proper burial. Was that a thing?
Yeah, for all of the diviners that came to her, she gave him a proper burial.
But this one was still sitting in the chair.
She hadn't had a chance yet to bury it.
Oh, it?
Well, the body. Well, it's a body.
And 6 already beat her at her craft. What was her craft?
I have no idea. Knitting? I don't remember.
You already beat me at my craft and you can have the loomstone. It's back at the cathedral is what we learned. And you've already said this. The loomstone can transport physically and mentally by returning memories. The Abbess was a stonemason. That's where she got her whole start. But then we also learned that she wasn't a stonemason. She was dead from the beginning.
Well, and then she became a stonemason.
Yeah.
As a child.
And, okay, so she was a stonemason when she came upon them. And then she asked the weaver to make robes. And on the 6th robe, she quit. So she withheld the water. And then she became a gargoyle. What? I thought that she chose not to. There's something about the robes.
Yeah, so she made the 6 robes for the first diviners. The weaver did.
Yes.
At the request of the abbess.
Yes. And I think it was on the 6th one that she quit. Because she was like, something's not right.
I think there were only 6 of them. And then when her memories and stuff resurfaced, she was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a part of this nonsense. And she went to the abbess to say, hey, please kill me. I would really like to just die. And the abbess is like, you do not have my permission to die.
How fucked?
Yeah. There's some, I don't think it was Patton. I don't remember which general it was. There's a similar quote to some military history somewhere where there's this group of people who are going into battle and they're like, we're going to all die because we're way outgunned, blah, blah, blah. Then the military person's like, you don't have my permission to die, soldier.
If removed from the spring water, you become a gargoyle.
Oh my God, that might have been small soldiers. I don't remember. I could have been totally wrong. Maybe it was one of the Gorgonites. Yeah, that was a good movie I have not seen in a million years, but I remember it so well.
You saying all that reminded me of last night. We went to an incredible ramen place last night, and I know that there are different levels of ramen quality. This one, amazing. Amazing, amazing. The broth was incredible. I just want to brag for a moment.
Some would say it's the top ramen. No, excuse me.
Incredible ramen place. Like the moment with Vanilla Mace eating that donut.
I don't know what we're talking about right now.
Do you remember that one girl and she's in her car and she eats this donut and it's the most amazing donut? You're like, where the hell did she get that donut from? I want to try it.
Oh, I do remember. Yeah, there was a Japanese donut.
Maybe it was. I don't know. It was an incredible donut. Vanilla Mace was eating it. And that was me with this ramen place last night. Anyway, I got a little sidebar from the sidebar. Coming back in.
A double segue? Chimpanzee riding on a Segway?
Multiple. When we first walked in, there were all of these little character plastic figurines everywhere.
Yeah.
What were they? They were like these little robots.
They are, no, it's not a robot. That's the dude's super suit. It was
super suit. Well, he looked like a little
where's my super suit?
70s version of a robot.
Well, no, so he was like the precursor to Power Rangers. And he originated in Japan. It's Ultraman. And this show was on whatever the station that wasn't Fox, I believe. Saturday mornings, it would show up. It was like knockoff Power Rangers is kind of what you were meant to believe. But there wasn't a team of them. It was just one Ultraman.
I need to get us back on topic.
It's the same thing in this book. Little parallel.
So many parallels.
You know, when Sybil mighty morphs into 6. And gets her stone eyeballs and her magic chisel and hammer.
Well, getting us back on track, the Weaver asks to be killed. The loom stone is at the door. Confirmed that the gargoyle is Bartholomew. And he's short because he was still a child. I don't know if that's true, actually. That's why I thought he was
over
short.
that. He could have just matured into a short man. Perhaps he wasn't given as much water as everybody else and he turned to stone before he was grown. We don't know.
Then chapter 29, the beginning of this very book, is the abbess retelling the story to Bartholomew and his whole story. Bartholomew died and was saved by the abbess and the water that revived him. We learned that all the craftsmen were dead. They all fought each other and died, and that's when the abbess came upon them and revived them. And the abbess would drown Bartholomew to make him dream and then starved him in that one little building when he wasn't behaving. And I think he was starting to rebel a little bit. And she's just like, I'm going to starve you and kill you that way. Because she didn't know how to kill him? Don't know.
Well, I think she could have killed him. I think instead she's like, oh, I'll just turn you into something where you're desperate.
I don't think that she knew what he would be. I think she just was going to starve him.
That's true. She probably had to find out the hard way that he would have to keep drinking the water, but I would assume she would have learned for herself.
Then as he's telling her this story, he's just like, I don't know how long I was there, but it was a very long time. And that he was starving.
Yeah, it was incredibly sad. She was an asshole to the gargoyle, and that's why I actually felt the abbess needed to be turned to dust.
And I think you kind of answered this of, does the spring water act more like a memory wipe or hypnosis? And then, yeah, all the diviners were dead girls that Bartholomew found.
He also goes into why they ended up being girls.
Because he didn't listen.
Yeah, because she tried it with a boy, and she's like, boys are too... Oh, that's the thing. I don't think he made it 10 years. I think he pretty quickly was like, I don't know about all this. And she's like, boys are too...
Immediately blames it on his gender rather than anything to do with her.
It reminds me of those people who are like, I'm a boy mom. They're destructive. She's like, never again. I'll only have girls.
So fucked up. Chapter 30, and I know that I blew through chapter 29, but it was too sad.
I got something you can blow through.
They made their way back to the cathedral. She destroyed the statues on her way there. She ripped off the
Hold on, you didn't bring up how she killed the Weaver.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I
said the Weaver asked to be killed.
The Weaver did ask to be killed, but the Weaver also, to make sure that she would die, made Six beat her within an inch of her goddamn life. And then she's like, all right, hold up. Now I'll tell you what you want to know. And she did. There was no trick involved. The Weaver has probably the second saddest story of anybody in this whole book. It was so well done. The Weaver as a proposed villain that turns out to be something that you immediately feel compassion for upon meeting.
Yes.
Was so well done.
Like a complete 180 from going into this, just like everybody else, right? Sybil and Six, like they're two different people.
Sybil, Six, both personalities.
That they went in cautiously and completely flipped their opinions. And I don't think Rory talked at all during this scene. Was he just like standing off to the side, just watching it all go down?
Actively listening like he should be. Thank you, Rory. He took a backseat to this.
Good.
I think that's where he needed to be. He was there to support her if she required him, but didn't want to get in the middle of her business.
Yeah.
I truly think the Weaver was probably one of the best written interactions we've had between two characters in any of the books we've read, because we had so much built up to kind of that moment. So we were left with a lot of assumptions that were also explicitly kind of questioned and stated that were immediately kind of dissolved within our interaction with the Weaver. And then the Weaver didn't justify what had happened. It was just information. There was not an opinion given. I think it was so beautiful. I really, really, really enjoyed that part, and I think that's why I was so hard on the Abbess's thing later.
Oh, because of how well this scene was done?
It wasn't predictable at all. I didn't see that coming even a little bit.
No, neither did I. I thought we were going to get through all of the omens and then the Abbess scene. Didn't even consider that one of the omens would be
satisfying. It was satisfying, and it gave us information we didn't already have. I just think that it was a better written interaction.
And that was the way we learn about Bartholomew rather than through the Abbess?
Yeah, but we also get clarification from the Abbess later. It's not like it's all there and then it's gone.
Mm-hmm. So in chapter 30, that's when they're headed back. And the way she comes through and she's like destroying all the statues as she's calling for the Abbess.
Oh, she's pissed. She's knocking on that door. It reminds me of like, when you were young, did your dad ever come home and like, you like slam the door on the way in?
Yeah.
And it was just like immediately stomping heavy-footed around like you knew he was just in a shitty mood.
Yep.
See, my dad was dead, so he didn't do any of that.
Stop it.
I wondered what it was like to have a father.
You got to experience that this last weekend.
Your dad wasn't that bad.
And I think when she ripped off the shroud, there was something about them interacting that we learned she's completely stoned, the Abbess. But yet...
No, the Abbess is a sexy lady who's also made of stone.
Yeah.
It was complicated. I didn't get a great visual, but she was just like, she's a hard body.
Yeah.
And also hard body. It was very confusing.
And she has the loomstone around her neck on a necklace. And she transports her from one area to another. So it's a pretty badass skill, like a tool. I don't know.
Only limited by what?
What you can see.
Yeah. Nightcrawler logic.
Oh, okay, good point. And this is me also realizing that they don't have memories not because of the water and being drowned in it, because I've been assuming they don't have memories because of that, but it's because they're dead. They're zombies.
Yeah, rock zombies.
So they don't have...
That's Gal.
This one I know.
Okay, all right.
No, I was just sharing. I was pretty proud.
No, I'm proud of you too. We don't need to go any further. If you don't get that, Google it.
And the abbess and her are fighting. The abbess is drowning her, and she's in her full night gear outfit. And the loomstone is how the others were taken. I remember saying, like, how were they taken? It's the loomstone. That now makes sense, that she teleported into the room, put her hand on them, and out, and how easily you were able to move them.
Here's the thing, though. She can only teleport to where she could see. If they would have put a shade across that window, she couldn't have got in or out of that place.
Is it like that, or is it just knowing?
Nope, it is limited by your vision.
Okay.
She specifically said where you can see.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, imagine we're going to fight somebody where this is our superpower. All we do is tie a blindfold over them.
Oh.
They're not going anywhere. Do we think that when they're teleported, they're the same thing?
What do you mean?
We went over this one time with the ship.
Yeah, we did.
But technically speaking, if you were to teleport something, you're not physically moving this matter to that space. You are disassembling the particles here and assembling particles there that make up that thing. So if she teleports, is she in fact still the same abyss? Or because she's made up of all new particles?
That's your question?
Or because now she's made up of all new particles, perhaps she's not that.
We had a whole discussion about this in Onyx Storm also with teleportation and how does that work?
Yeah, teleportation's super interesting in that way.
I think in this aspect, it's just you touch the person, you are both a single object that moves from one spot to another.
Okay, all right. You know what? I'll suspend disbelief because it's magic.
Yes.
All right, fine. But we're really missing out on a fun science conversation.
Nope.
Okay.
And we learned that the abbess didn't even know the forester has been gone for 30 years. And the abbess was born. No, the abbess was not born. The abbess was a stillborn in the spring.
Hold on. Stillborn in the spring. So I got some questions. This is where we get into the doula conversation. There's her mom. She's meandering through the countryside. She's like, oh shit, I think I'm going to poop a baby.
What?
Luckily, somebody's floating around there. They're like, it'll be gross if you do it out here on the ground. Let's go into that creek.
That's not how
the spring water is.
I didn't think of it as she gave birth in the spring.
Well, how else does a stillborn end up in the spring? You think she, like, oh, this one's dead and just kicks the baby into the water?
Yeah, that's what I imagined.
Wow. Yours is so much more awful.
And I find this to be a major plot hole in this book, and they just glossed over it. She was like, I have never been alive, essentially. I was a stillborn in the spring water. And we gloss over it. I'm like, wait a minute.
The stork dropped her on the way over.
Like, how did we move from being that to a baby, to a toddler, to a teen, to a grown-ass adult? How did we go through those stages? And
Magic water. So this is why I also think Bartholomew continued to age, and he's just a short man with a child's, like, sense of wonder.
Aging.
Correct. Yeah, she must have aged. Otherwise, the abbess would not be intimidating. We have a 7-pound bad guy who's 22 inches long.
But, like, how do you go?
We still measure the abbess's height in length like that. Instead of height, we say length because it's still just a baby.
No. Because, like, I don't... Oh, it's such a sensitive topic that was
Prepare to be triggered.
I'm so...
Trigger warning. This is the trigger warning section.
Yeah, I know it's insensitive, but it was like, why throw that detail in there? Because now I'm picturing, like, she has to stay in the water as a baby. Like,
why would she have to stay?
How does
water
she get
births, babies swim.
You can't... You just swimming in the water for like a year?
Well, I think her mom went to go give water birth.
Okay.
Boom. Stillborn. They didn't know until she was already in the water. Oh, look at this. Look at this healthy baby. Oh, weird. This baby's got rocks for eyeballs.
You're wrong, because if the mom was giving birth, like a water birth, we've learned that the water touching their lips, them getting it into their mouth, immediately revives them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were giving birth,
yep,
the baby would look alive the entire time to the mother.
Yeah. But the abbess now has the memory stone on her, so she knows
Oh,
she was stillborn.
wait a minute. No. Her mom was doing a water birth. She did not know the baby was stillborn.
Correct.
It goes into the water, takes the first breath of water.
Gets in the baby's mouth, then the baby continues
now
to
the
breathe
baby's
water.
alive. The mom gets the baby out of the water, and she doesn't know any different.
Correct.
She goes on to raise her child. But then your baby has stone eyes.
Well, not immediately. It takes a while.
Okay. I'm going to go with that logic because
that's what I thought happened. And the only reason that the abbess knows that she was stillborn is because she has the Weaver's thing, which grants her all of the memories.
Whoa. Okay. Thank you. I'm picturing
I'm filling plot holes. I'm here to help.
Thank you. Because I'm like, what, was she just hanging on the water until she could walk? Like, this doesn't make sense.
She's a strong baby. Yeah, so I believe her mom, they lived out there, right? She was a poor child. And her mom's like, oh, good. Place to drop this baby. We'll throw her in the water. No, not quite where you had more of a Achilles story almost, right? You know how that works?
Well, I know Achilles was dipped in this thing. Yeah. That's not what I was
picturing. The river Styx or something like that.
I thought the mother knew that her infant has passed.
And she thought the appropriate thing to do was to throw it in the water.
Yeah. She's like, I don't know.
She's like, the fish gotta eat. Throws it in there.
Fucked up.
Well, I don't know. We eat the fish. The fish eat us. It's a circle of life.
I could not. I'm like, why was this such a fast detail of the abbess's story? I'm pretty dense.
It was a Bane moment for me, though, where she's like, I was born in the spring water. You're merely drowned in it. I think that's so fun.
So fucked up.
Come, child.
So just that whole scene just took it down, I would say 0.25 stars because I was so hung up on this detail for days now.
I will grant you that this is a little absurd. What I also like, though, is that we got the knowledge. It only brings you back to life once. It cannot continually bring somebody back to life.
Yes.
That's the idea.
And it is keeping you alive.
Yeah, so it's not going to repair our gargoyle.
No. Yeah, because he's damaged. We're going to glue him together?
Well, first of all, it's not how we do stone. Young lady.
I would be out there with hot glue. Piecing him together.
I'm going to need you to be real careful with this until it all grows back. But I wanted to touch on, I thought that they had to drink the water. Clearly, you're right. It's once it touches their lips.
Yes, because they're dead. You can't make a body drink water. It just needs to go in their mouth.
So do you think that Rory has already died and been revived? Maybe not.
I don't know.
I could be wrong, but Rory knew how to cure the nausea that she had.
No.
Maybe something else makes him nauseous, because we know the gargoyles beat the shit out of him when he stole the water.
He's a bad knight. That's why he smokes.
Yeah, but imagine somebody was smoking a cigarette and they were like, oh, I actually know how to cure your nausea. When you throw up on them, they're like, here, take this cigarette.
No, I don't think so. I don't think
that was just a home remedy he was aware of for nausea.
Briefly talked about how we wondered if Sybil and Rory were in the same pupil house or the same time, if there is aging after you are revived from death.
There's definitely aging.
Well, aging as in time goes on, but aging as in developmentally, you're physically growing in size and features.
No, that's what I'm saying. That is definitely happening.
Yeah, it has to, because she was a stillborn.
Yeah, again, otherwise the abbess is 22 inches long and 7 pounds, 6 ounces. She is a far less intimidating and honestly much scarier figure. Otherwise, imagine,
baby.
That's exactly where I was going with this. She's just, who would be the female Alec Baldwin?
So that is still a theory in play that they could have known each other until she died.
Yeah, potentially, but how would he recognize her? Her
name.
I'm saying, but we played into this that they maybe knew each other prior to this.
Yeah, I thought that they did, or they still could.
Okay, let me rephrase this. He doesn't once say, are you by chance Sybil?
Whoa, I don't know if this is one of these withholding information from her until later.
He doesn't seem like that sort of a character. Other than now, the next book when he comes back, he's going to bring his kingdom. Because he's a part of a scrappy group of pirates or something. I stand by, I think he's actually like a pirate prince.
Yeah, he is like a bit of a pirate.
But pirate.
Well,
He's going for that
the
juicy
last
booty,
thing-
Sybil.
Last thing we talked about is her being dunked by the abbess. Rory pulls her out of the water. Bartholomew goes and bites a huge chunk out of the abbess's neck. He's feral. Multiple times now, Six has described her body as colliding as stone. Maud chops off the abbess's arm. It was like a Thor and the axe with...
Stormbreaker.
Yeah, and who's the purple guy?
Thanos.
It'd be funny if you're like Barney.
You know when Thor beat the shit out of that dinosaur that wouldn't shut the fuck up about the world being unequal? Who is no help at all in this battle?
Oh, Rory.
Benji.
Oh, yeah, Benji's not even there.
This one, Benji is zero assistance in any way.
Was he? I thought he was fighting.
Was there.
He was fighting gargoyles.
Yeah, but was he?
Yeah, he was fighting gargoyles.
I still don't know if I even believe that. He's fucking useless.
And then Six drowns the abbess in the water and strikes her in the heart.
Six continues to beat the shit out of the abbess until she is dust, is how it is described. Like, there no part remains of the abbess. I don't believe she's going to return.
No. I think we now have to deal with Benji.
I agree. I think we got to do a Benji, and I think they're going to do that in the second book. The gargoyle is they're going to find some other sort of magic from some other continent. I'm just going to be like, hey, don't worry. We know how to fix rocks.
Do you think Grandpa's still alive?
No, they stoned him to death.
Well, that's what I mean. What if he already solved this whole mystery of learning that the abbess is reviving dead people, and he stole spring water and he had it on hand? Maud had it. She knows. Well, yeah, he's going to die, but for the greater good, Maud then drags the body off and gives Grandpa water. And he's alive off and doing something.
The fuck? How is he maintaining life?
I know.
The abbess controls the spring water? No, I don't think so. I think Grandpa's dead for good.
Well, they went and stole spring water to trap all of them. If Maud was the one that did it, Maud could have got some extra.
Yeah, but Rory's the one that did it, and he got caught doing it.
He did.
I don't believe that Maud was out there secretly keeping Pops alive. I don't think so.
It's just an idea.
It's an idea. I think it's a great one, but I don't believe it.
All right.
No, I think
it would
he's
make a
very
great
dead.
twist in the next book.
He's actually the new abbess. My grandson needs a spanking. Come here, Benji.
Chapter 31. Six says the last object is the spring, and they bury it. The knights end up catching
They cover it with rocks. They don't bury it.
Yeah, they destroy
These people have never come across, like, a water problem. Imagine you have a pit that just continues to fill with water, and your big solution is, let's just put a bunch of rocks in it.
I took it as, like, there's this pond, it's a spring, it's not flowing anywhere, it's contained. You now have rocks on top of it like a dome, and you can't access it anymore.
Yeah, because people are incapable of moving rocks.
Exactly.
They built your castle because it happened to sort of be that shape when they arrived. Get out of here. This is such a temporary...
It is. That's why I said that I think that Rory and them are going to loop around back to the cathedral, move some rocks, and revive Rory.
Rory's not dead.
He's dying.
He's not. Remember, the king specifically said, I don't want to kill you.
And then we have to go through the trials of their addiction to the spring water in the next book. And they're like, we need to finally kick this habit. They both turn into gargoyles and they ride off into the sunset.
Book 2, Detox. You know what? I'm into this. If in the second book, it's really just a long story about recovery from chasing the dragon, like, that would be very funny to me.
Then the knights catch up to where they were at the cathedral. Benji stabs Rory. He's like, about goddamn time.
I think he slices Rory. He doesn't stab him.
There's knives. There's some blood.
He has a sword. Okay, fine. Whatever.
His guard is down. Maybe he took his armor off already. I don't know.
No, it's through the side blade of his armor.
Ooh, okay. As this impaling happens, the coin is flung. I don't think purposefully.
It is. The gargoyle's coming at the king because the king's being a dickhead. So the king simultaneously blows off part of the gargoyle's wing and fucks him up with the coin and stabs Rory. And then Maud's like, oh, motherfucker, I'm coming for you. And the king points his sword at her in this one beautiful swing. And he's like, don't get fucking close to me. I'll kill you. And he's like,
put your axe down.
Yeah. He's like, all right. So he calls Sybil Six when he addresses her.
That is a Interesting detail.
Yes. Rory and everybody's like, the fuck are you doing with all of this? What's your next play? And he's like, oh, that's really up to Six, rather than that's up to Sybil, which shows that he doesn't actually give a shit about her. It's the power that he wants. He may be mildly attracted to Six, but I think he's mostly just in it for the influence.
Yeah, and he wants her to be his queen. And we learn that he gave the nobles, these noble families, all of the wealth from the omens, which he like goes through the logic. And I'm like, this is still so dumb. He's like, they've been hoarding it. Now we're going to hoard it over here.
Also, you are the people that are assigning the value to this. Like, this isn't this...
He's like, we can't let it flood the market. We had to contain it.
This is kind of a thing. It's weird because economically it also doesn't make a lot of sense. Who is the person determining the value of this gold? I would assume it would be the king.
I don't know. I thought we were getting into Benji abiding by trickle-down economics.
Well, instead I'm getting into why did he just give all of these knightdoms?
Yeah.
Really, right? All of this gold. Great, good. Now they're wealthy. What are they going to use that wealth for? Whom do they pay that it actually makes this big difference to? They already controlled all of the wealth.
They did, yeah.
The omens had wealth, but they weren't using it. Therefore, the omens weren't a problem. It was just wealth that was out of circulation.
Yeah, and it seemed like that was his problem.
Yeah, but you're going to do reverse inflation. Well, technically, he's going to create inflation now. So it'll be temporarily, there will be more money in circulation, but it will have the same perceived value as the money that was already in circulation. Once all of that money has been distributed, you just have more money in circulation. All the same goods and needs are still there. So all you're going to do is pump up the cost of everything. Does that make sense?
It does, but I don't know what Sybil's going to do about it.
Well, I don't think Sybil has a great understanding of economics either.
Yeah,
I would assume that she is even slightly less informed than we are. But in my understanding, what we're doing is creating a temporary solution which will give us a much larger problem later on.
And it doesn't solve anything with the sprites either. The sprites are still screwed.
The sprites don't care about gold. The actual value to everything is actually the goods that they're hoarding, not gold. They're not hoarding the rock because it's super valuable. They're hoarding the rock because the sprites want it.
That's so sad. Because, yeah, we still have the whole starving piece.
Yeah, so we end up in a weird value arbitrage with things.
So, yeah, we've talked about the stabbing. Bartholomew's injured. Moth shows up. Wealth transfer. He essentially wants to be the new abbess. Points out Rory is not a good knight and only loyal to Six. Maud removes herself from the kingdom. Maud removes herself from the knighthood, and the gargoyle is crumbling as he's walking away. And then he turns and he's like, I have to go with Sybil or Six. I don't know what he says because I'm her squire. And she turns him away.
I almost cried. I was so sad. First he says, where are we going?
Yeah.
Now he's also Maud's squire, but now Maud's not a knight.
I'm her squire.
Yeah,
I have to go with her.
It was fucking heartbreaking.
And he's like, you gotta go home. Get out of here.
It was an old Yeller moment. Go on now, get
out of here.
It was so sad.
Oh, I'm so glad that it didn't turn in this, like how some movies, they will do that whole old Yeller thing, and then they'll also add in like, I don't like you, I've never liked you, you're a piece of shit, right? Trying to get that person to hate them so they will leave. Oh, I was like, I swear to God, Sybil, if you do this, I'm going to be mad. Don't you break this little heart.
You could do it to Rory, but you can't do it to a gargoyle.
No, and she didn't. She didn't do that, so that was great. And he's walking away, and there's little pieces of him falling down as he's leaving.
Yeah, it's incredibly sad. Maud is dragging Rory as a trail of blood just going with him.
See, Rory... this trail of blood makes more sense that you could follow him, not the trail of blood from when
she was just
when she was free bleeding. Yeah. It didn't make sense that it's nighttime. He's like, you shouldn't be bleeding out here. Like, what do you mean you saw that? Like, I can bleed quite a bit. I don't think enough to leave a trail to find me.
I don't think I could have found you.
I don't think so.
I could determine which rooms in the house you had been in for a certain length of time. I think I can handle that.
But like if you were stabbed, I could follow the blood trail from where you've been. This one makes sense.
I think to be fair, I quit bleeding quickly enough, you would have a very limited idea as to where I've been. I'm really questioning the amount of blood he's losing is concerning. Clearly. I
I've been
do
saying
agree.
this from the beginning.
I know, and I do agree, but
He's
it's
dying.
concerning. But the king made a special point to say, Rory, I don't want to kill you. 'Tis but a flesh wound. You'll be fine if you don't fuck around and find out. And then Maud's like, okay, fine, I'll just haul my boys away. So they're going to go recruit the sprites and the pirate army, which is going to have to become very land-based in their future battle.
And this was your theory a little while back.
This is my theory from the beginning. You can go back to, I think, chapter 6.
It seems like that's the path it's going to be, especially after she gave her vow to the Stonewater Kingdom. And that is the end of the book.
And here's the song for the end of the book.
You have to say it. I can't play it.
Closing time.
Closing time. Da, 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 da.
Open all the doors, and that's when he just blows the hole in the wall with the coin. Let you out into the world.
Does Benji have all of the items now?
Yes,
For sure has the Loomstone?
I assume so.
Yeah, I don't know where that ended up going.
I don't remember either, but I'm pretty sure she was crushing the abyss. Maybe she destroyed the Loomstone. That would be cool.
He for sure has the coin. He for sure has the ink. He for sure has the chime. What else is there?
The ore.
Yeah, where's the ore at?
They collected it months ago. I believe one of the knights actually is holding on to the ore.
Oh, I bet he gave each of those nobles one of them.
There are 3 noble families that he's kissing ass to. Weirdly, not Maud's, which I find odd because she's an extremely noble knight as well.
I think that's where it comes into the power, and he feels disrespected in how they were treating him.
Does make you wonder what was going on in Pop Pop's journal, though. Maybe this was Pop Pop's plan all along.
Well, what if Benji hasn't been honest about everything that's in the journal?
Yeah, I think
he's
that's
the only
a
one
distinct
reading
thing.
it.
That's exactly. He's not sharing it with anybody. Satisfying conclusion to the book?
Very satisfying. It was so satisfying that I could see where
Maybe I won't even read the second one.
you could enjoy this as a standalone.
Well, it's still a cliffhanger.
It is, but when I kind of thought about, it's only the last chapter that makes it a standalone. It isn't all of these huge unfinished pieces. For the
Quit
most,
reading at chapter 30.
yeah.
You're fine. That was the end of the book.
All you need to know is the abbess died. Then it's all done. It's all
true.
destroyed.
That's true. Ashes to ashes.
I loved it. I still want to give it like 5 stars, but just that smidge for some of the plot holes that I'm like, that's more of a me problem where I start overthinking a little too
No, I think
much.
you're correct. There are a lot of actual plot holes in this book.
But I really loved and enjoyed the book. I disagree with you on the villains. I liked how the villains were done. It's 4.75 to 5 stars. It's up there. I loved this book so much. It's a comfort read. I want to reread this down the road.
I thoroughly enjoyed this book. Honestly, the only thing that I think was not satisfying is the fact that the whole interaction with the abbess, it was a good fight, but it came off very much like Superman fighting a bad guy. There wasn't a big plan. There wasn't this idea. And 6 even asks, maybe it's Rory. I don't remember. I think it was Sybil. I should say Sybil. I think Sybil asks Rory, so what's the game plan when the king takes up the mantle and we've finished off with all this? What do we do? And Rory's like, fuck it, we'll go wherever you want. We'll do what you want.
Yeah.
But that kind of shows that there was a thought process to what happens when this is over. There was such this beautiful buildup like that as she's destroying Astling Cathedral area, I should say, because we also learned the abbess's actual name is Ashling.
Oh, we did?
Oh, yeah, you didn't. Oh, I'm sorry.
That?
I forgot to bring that up. Yeah.
No, that's
The
awesome.
Weaver is like, everybody knows her name. She's like, you fucking know her name.
Wow.
And she's like, it's Astling. Or Ashling, however
But
it's
she
said.
would have had to have named herself. No, we fixed that plot hole.
She had a mom.
She had a mom. She was raised by a mom.
Yeah, but she
And
did
then
name a
around-
cathedral after herself, which is still a little ego-driven, but
Yeah.
sure, whatever.
So probably around 7 years old, she went back to the spring water, took another little sip, and then headed back
I
home.
think she made it 7 years.
Well,
I think every so often she's like, hey, Mom, I'm going to go swim up the hill.
we're going to go swimming.
Oh, quit drinking the water. Fish piss in that. But I think it's so cool. Overall, the book was amazing. And there was such a great build up to that battle that it was so disappointing that it ended so quickly. And she didn't have she had her bad guy monologue, which I think was still good. But she didn't have a plan. She came off like kind of a shitty bad guy, which you could say is ego, right? Where she didn't feel like she needed this plan. But nobody that's been successfully this awful for 300 goddamn years relies solely on ego. Up until then, she's worked out this system to maintain control. So I'm a little upset with it. I give this book if it wasn't for the gargoyle, this would be a 3.5, somewhere in there. But the gargoyle alone brings us up to like a 4.25 to a 4.5.
And I think we ended up doing 4.25 to be a mix of both of us in our rating.
I think that's fine. Because, yeah, the way it ended, fine for me. The King double cross, it led you the breadcrumbs all the way through the book, so you kind of knew it was coming. The only other area where I really detract, besides the last interaction with the abbess, is actually the romance. It's fine for me because I can enjoy it, but I think it didn't add anything to this book. It didn't add anything to those characters, and it really came the fuck out of nowhere.
Oh, I felt like I liked it being kind of on the side that their romance was developing. I didn't think that it really came out of nowhere. At what point did it develop?
Where do you think that you noticed a development as opposed to Rory is instantaneously obsessed with Six, and Six kind of slowly comes to terms with the fact that she also is obsessed with him?
I don't think I can defend any piece. I just know these are my feelings. I guess. I don't know.
You don't need to defend it. I didn't know if there was actually something there that made you feel that way or if it was just the vibes.
I have learned that I now enjoy a heavier focus on plot movement and storyline with a side of romance. And this definitely fits this. I felt like the Empyrean series did that too, because I want to continue moving forward in all these intriguing things about what their conflict is, rather than the conflict being the romance of how to form this relationship because of that. And I felt like the Book of Azrael series was less about the plot and more about the romance. And I also kind of feel this way a little bit about the Akatar series, but there was still enough plot that I was still moving forward. But yes, that this book checks all the boxes for what I really like about romantasy.
I would say the Gods and Monsters series did this really well initially. The first book and up into the second book lightly kind of had this, right? The second book was more romance forward, but also in how that interacted with the plot. The first book was primarily about the plot, and then the romance was a B plot. The third book was all about the romance, and the B plot was actually, there was no A plot. There was no plot really. It was just romance, and things kind of happened around it. And that's why I was so dissatisfied with the third Book of Azrael book.
Yeah.
This book felt like it was A plot. The B plot was actually the gargoyle in his life.
Good point.
And then the C plot was kind of the romance. And that's where I really do appreciate this book. I think it was amazing. It could have been 5 stars if it was a little more explained how the romance actually happened, even though I don't really want that. I think just for the story, it would have made more sense to me because it was off-putting the way it happened so quickly. And then it was just devotion. Things that you expect of 19-year-olds, not mid-20s, nearly 30 years old, and some seasoned people.
Yeah, but I mean, we have a book that deals with adults, and I like that. So again,
but not in an adult way. That's why it didn't check the box for me.
Yeah, but she's never...
Sybil is fine. Rory's the one that I have the problem with in this. Rory immediately has this sense of devotion, which is in no way really explained to us. What made her special? We don't know.
She's a hottie.
Yeah, he's never seen an attractive woman before?
Not this hot.
I don't believe that. I think Maud, in my mind, is actually a smoke show. But I think it's because she's kind of a muscle mommy.
So that's okay that we like Maud. It makes sense that Rory wouldn't like Maud.
Okay. I think he would develop a complex.
And because I love this book so much, our next book is One Dark Window and Two Twisted Grounds.
I thought it was going to be called Two Well-Lit Garage Doors.
Yeah, absolutely.
That should be the second book.
And I'm really eager to start that one because I think they have another lovely side character.
If they got somebody as funny and endearing as the gargoyle, that could be my next favorite book. I don't know. This gargoyle was the best character in any book we ever read, period.
Oh, and a member of our book club sent me a TikTok of the author talking about these characters and who inspired her or who are they inspired after. And she mentioned Danny DeVito for the gargoyle.
It's so perfect.
Yeah.
God damn it. Rachel Gilling? What's her name?
Gillig.
Yeah. Hey, I got her first name right. And almost part of the second name.
Yeah.
Last
She
name.
mentioned Danny DeVito as part of the inspiration for Bartholomew.
That's so perfect. Lovely. I thoroughly enjoyed going through this book with you.
Same. I love you.
I love you. Thank you. You're my bestie.
You're my bestie.
Open your legs and close your books. It's over. Thank you guys for supporting us. It's been a good time. If you'd like more,
Follow us here, TikTok or Instagram. Fable, if you want to join our book club. Patreon, if you want episodes early.
drop it on Tuesdays if you're into that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah. Episodes are releasing on Tuesdays. If there's a two-parter, it's going to be on Thursdays.
We accept 5-star reviews and nothing less. If you leave something less, you're a motherfucker.
No!
Oh.
Honest reviews.
Not that honest. Only leave a review if you're willing to be a 5-star honest person. Should we come up with something mean to say to him on the way out? I kind of want to pick on him.
No, I
don't
won't say
want that
love
mood.
you. Bye.
Oh, you can tell him that you love him.
Okay.
I won't.
Love you guys before Ryan bullies you out of here.
I'm fine with most of you. I love you, bye. The We're a Smutty podcast. The books, you're right. They may or may not be smutty. We read 3 Little Pigs, and one of them gets fucked. Get ready. It's not the one you think. Which one do you think is the sluttiest pig?
None of them.
I think it's the one in the brick house.
Oh, I was thinking the one with the hay.
I thought you would, and that's how I knew it. Because the twigs aren't sexy enough, the hay one's like, oh, please don't blow my house over. Yeah, no. That's sad that you would think that. It's the one in the brick house, because it's the one you wouldn't think.
This is the one that's getting paid and has money for bricks.
Whoa. First of all, it's a slutty pig, not a whore pig. This pig does it for the love of the game.